Merry Christmas, everyone, from me, Lady Penelope, and Parker.
The Gerry Anderson Podcast with Jamie Anderson, Richard James, and Chris Dale.
Oh, Jamie, Merry Christmas. I'm actually quite emotional, as you can probably tell.
Why is that?
Oh, because it's Christmas. I love Christmas.
Do you love Christmas?
Well, yeah, I'm doing a Christmas show. It's all Christmassy. I come here.
suppose.
There you are in your... Just a minute.
What?
What are you wearing?
What, the headphones?
No, what's that?
Oh, this?
Yeah.
This is a top secret prototype Christmas jumper for 2024.
Top secret, you say?
Well, it's not top secret now.
No.
If you're watching, you've now seen a preview of our fantastic 2024 Christmas jumper.
Yeah.
So I've got the only one in the world.
That's amazing, and it almost fits.
Thank you. This was designed by one of our lovely fans.
Excellent. Was it?
So to be announced in due course, the winner. It was a Christmas jumper competition that we ran a little while ago.
Well.
And then we had to delay for various reasons. So
interesting.
Here's the winning design.
I saw a comment, I think, on the Facebook group from one of our wonderful podsterons saying, what happened about the Christmas jumper competition?
Well, Thunderbirds are snow, now you know.
Love it. I love that.
It's lovely.
Not quite so keen on the,
On
the
what?
turkey on your head.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, welcome to the Gerry Anderson Christmassy podcast on Christmas Day. I don't know how you can let us know that you're watching this on Christmas Day. Why not drop us an email and I'll read it out in 3 weeks' time?
Perfect. That's a great way to celebrate Christmas. Yes, no, Merry Christmas or whatever you're celebrating,
Yeah.
or just, happy 25th of December.
Sure, yeah. And I hope you are joining us on the day, because that would be nice.
Yes, because we're
it's-
so festive.
Yes, we are. This is the Gerry Anderson Podcast. I'm Richard James. I was trying to think of sort of a Christmassy name. But it doesn't really
Richard
work.
Jingle James.
Richard Jingle James. I'll put that in the
And
order.
Jamie Bauble Anderson.
Bauble.
Bauble.
Okay. All right, fair enough. And joining us a little later for the randomizer, it's Chris Dingle. No. It's Chris Tingle, isn't it? There's a thing called Chris Tingle.
Chris Pringle?
Is it Chris Pringle? It's Chris Dale.
Yeah, it's
There
Chris
it is.
Dale.
Oh.
Hi, Chris.
Oh, God. Well, he hasn't made any effort at all.
I know, he hasn't even put a Christmas jumper on. I just have to be really careful how I turn my head with this turkey on my head. Yes.
I'm wondering if we could even see the top of that in the frame of the camera. Don't know.
Yes.
There
Well,
it is in all its glory.
no one can really tell.
So it's Christmas, of course, but that doesn't stop us, which means we've got all
should
the
do.
usual gubbins coming up on the Gerry Anderson podcast.
Christmas
We've got
gubbins.
Fab Facts.
Festive Fab Fact.
Right.
Yeah.
We've got our podsterons, the voice of the podsterons.
Yes. Jingly voice of the Podsterons. I can't think of any other Christmas words
fine.
now.
We've got Terry Adlam joining us, of course.
Oh, that right, turkey,
To pull
yeah.
a few Christmas crackers.
Oh, yes, the Christmas crackers.
Are they actually going to be pulled?
Yeah, we're actually going to pull them. We've got 30-year-old Christmas crackers, Thunderbirds Christmas crackers, which we'll be pulling throughout this episode. I mean, we could start now.
Well, I can see the dust on top. Look, I could literally write my name.
30-year-old dust. Do you want to pull one now?
Oh, go on, you open it. While I tell our wonderful podsterons that we also have the randomizer coming up a little later on. That's when Chris Dale, of course, the randomizer himself, sits down in front of a random Gerry Anderson episode, gives us his thoughts and comments. Right. Look at that. Oh, I'm feeling
they're so
Christmassy.
there
there
it
it goes.
turkey's fallen off and
There it
everything.
goes.
This is very Christmassy, isn't it? Right, so, yes, these were made by Boots
Yep.
back in 1993, I think.
Okay.
They're beautiful, silver and blue. And I've got no idea if the snaps will work after 30
Come on,
years. I
let's try it.
suspect not.
Come on.
Grab it. Here
Grab
we
it hard.
go.
Pull it.
Pull. Oh, the
Oh,
snap
that's a bit of a
worked after
snap.
30
That was
years.
nice. Well,
I'm
hey.
so amazed by that. Okay. Well, I won. I've got a very good cracker.
Do you get the prize and the joke?
Well, we'll see. Gosh, what have I got in here? So, I've got a Thunderbirds International Rescue sticker,
Oh, yeah.
which is rather nice. A Virgil title card sticker.
Yeah. Bit faded, I guess.
Is this
A hat, of
the
course.
hat? No,
And there's a
does it
little
just
something
seem
in there?
No, it's I've got a hood badge.
Oh!
This is great.
That's not bad at all.
And everything's wrapped in pink crepe paper, and then a hat.
Doesn't
which-
it show you how things have declined over the last 30 years?
know.
So many prizes, but no jokes.
No, there's another slip of paper. The hat's a bit flat and rubbish. There's no
the right
points
colour.
to it, but it's Thunderbird's hat style.
I see, great.
And here,
Yep.
is it a joke?
Come on.
Oh, they're not jokes. They're trivia. Thunderbirds trivia. So,
Oh, no.
Richard James.
Oh, God.
Who is Hiram K. Hackenbacker more commonly known as?
As my spell check repeatedly tells me, Brian's.
Correct.
Hooray!
It's Brian's from Thunderbirds. Well, there we go. I am so overwhelmed that the snap worked on
That's
those
amazing.
crackers.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's Anderson Pyrotechnics shining through.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? Great. Well, does that mean we don't have to have a Fab Fact this week?
No, I'm afraid. Actually, we still do have a very festive Fab... Well, probably not festive, but we haven't got a Fab Fact anyway.
Go on, then.
Are you ready for a Fab Fact?
Always.
Here's the Fab Fact.
Now, time for this week's Fab Facts.
Fab Facts, your
Yes.
favourite.
Yes,
Can't
go on.
promise it's festive
I'm feeling
because they're quite
Christmassy.
random.
Yeah.
So, every week,
Yep.
get out the lovely book of Fab Facts.
Yep.
Tome of Fab Facts.
Yep.
You shout Fab at a random point during my flicking of said book.
Yep.
And then we hope to happen upon a Fab Fact.
Yeah.
Do you want to shout something different this week?
Oh, yes, I was supposed to give that some thought, wasn't I?
Ho, 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 or...
Sure.
or
Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, okay.
Ho,
I'll
ho,
give you
ho.
a ho, ho, ho.
Seeing as you're wearing a Santa hat,
That's
you might
right,
as well.
yeah.
Okay, so you ready with your ho, ho, ho?
Yeah, go on. Yeah, I think
I'm
so.
ready with my Fab
Go for it.
Fact book. Here we go. Oh!
Hell yeah. Oh, come on.
That's
why I'm here.
That drama school training really paid off,
Absolutely.
didn't it? Just for this.
Second year, term 2, Father Christmas laugh.
And how long was that? A few weeks?
Oh, 6 weeks that was, yeah.
Incredible. Yeah. Coursework? Fieldwork.
Fieldwork, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, out in all
Incredible.
those shopping centres.
Oh, really
That's what I
worth
was
it.
doing, honestly.
Really worth it. Right, I've got a Fab Fact
Good.
for you. We've often talked about how many of the Super Mario Nation puppets' likenesses were based on real actors and people in the public eye, including the startling revelation a few pods ago that Thunderbirds' Hiram K. Hackenbacker, how weird that would be the first cracker.
Also known as Brian's.
Yes. Otherwise known as Brains.
Right.
May have been modelled on physics professor Nicholas P. Samios.
Oh, yes.
Was it Samios?
That's right, it was, yeah.
But are there any examples of puppets being named after people in real life? Well, it turns out...
I'm guessing. Yes.
Yeah. So we're talking 1964. We're talking the first Dad series to be produced in colour, which, of course, you know, we're talking...
Stingray.
Oh,
Stingray.
nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
So let's turn our attention to the crew of Wasp's flagship craft, in particular, one Lieutenant George Lee Sheridan.
Oh,
Lieutenant George Lee Sheridan.
Sheridan. Okay.
Doesn't sound familiar? Well, that's because his real name was never used on screen, although it is mentioned in the series' publicity material. It's Stingray's navigator and hydrophone operator and Troy's best friend.
His phones.
His phones,
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
Now, Phones was voiced by actor Robert Easton, who based Phones' Southern American tones on his own performance in the 1961 film Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
Love it.
In which he'd played a Southern radio operator called Sparks.
Okay.
Robert himself has excellent sci-fi credentials besides Stingray, also appearing in the likes of The Bionic Woman, Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, as well as the 1998 film The Merchant of Venus,
Right.
which one reviewer described as starting out somewhat different, ending up a disaster.
I mean,
A classic
welcome
there.
to the Gerry Anderson Podcast.
Anywho, what does this have to do with phones? Well, we know the rest of the Stingray crew were modelled on famous actors like James Garner, that's Troy Tempest, Lois Maxwell, Atlanta Shaw, voiced by
Lois Maxwell, yes.
and Laurence Olivier for Titan.
Apparently so,
Yeah, but Phones is the only character in the series to be named after a real person, a sound engineer that Dad had encountered earlier in his career. In later interviews, he recalled that said sound engineer spent so long with his headphones plugged into various bits of equipment that he used to leave them on all the time, earning himself the nickname Phones.
Ah.
It was clearly a nickname that stuck, but who was the unknown sound engineer? Do you know, Podsterons?
Was it Benji Clifford?
I don't think it was. He's a bit too young. And is Phones the only example of a Super Mario Nation character being named after an unnamed person? Well, the Book of Fab Facts certainly thinks so.
Well, yeah, interesting. Are there any other characters named after real people, let alone unnamed real people?
Well, we covered it very briefly in Gerry Anderson, A Life Uncharted, I think, in the extended version, certainly, that Conrad Lefcon,
Of course.
the name of Captain Black and new Captain Scarlet, was a nod to someone that Dad had fallen out with previously.
Yeah. Of course.
He would often use surnames that he knew from real life as
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
So yes, it did happen quite a lot.
Fair
But
enough.
I would like to make a contentious comment about the Book of Fab Facts there.
Excellent.
And I'm not sure about the accuracy of this, because
Good.
I also recall Dad being quite cross that Phones had been given a name. in the ancillary material, because from his RAF days,
Yeah.
I think those who were operating with headphones were often called phones.
I see.
So that was kind of a nod to that. And so giving him a name
Yes.
didn't make sense. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Alan Fennell,
Yeah.
who I think ended up naming him in the supporting material,
Yeah.
may have heard that name from being a sound engineer, and that story would be correct. But I don't think it would have been Dad.
How interesting.
Because then why keeping phones on screen and then create a name later? So
Okay.
I put it before you
Yeah.
that the Fab Facts book may be
Right.
festively false.
Well, that's it then. That's the end of Fab Facts.
Cancel.
That's it.
Cancel the
Cancelled.
show. Yeah, cancel it.
It's all off.
Cancel the podcast as well.
Right,
Forget the whole
okay.
thing.
Well. But that's a turn up for the books, isn't it? It's a Christmas bombshell, that is.
It is. But Podsterons, we may not read it because there's no more Fab Facts now because we cancelled it. Happy Christmas. Do email us podcast@gerryanderson.com if you've got any other examples of character names where they've been named after real life people.
Yes.
Yeah?
Good. Excellent.
Good. That's it then.
Yeah.
That's the end of this festive one.
Right.
So it brings us
Yeah.
very jollily and merrily
Yes.
to the end of this week's
Phones Fact! Of course
2
it
weeks
is.
in
It
a
had
row
to be
we've got Phones Fact.
Of course it was. Now, I've got lots of emails here in my Christmas sack.
Have you indeed, Santa?
So I'm going to dive straight in and ask that we open the door and let in the Podsterons.
Okay.
This is the voice of the Podsterons.
There. That's brought the temperature down a degree or two, isn't it?
Barely felt it in my Christmas jumper. It's so cosy and
course,
comfortable.
yes. Hello, Jamie, Chris, and Richard, says Mark Moss. Has there ever been any written or audio recorded story about the disappearance of Alec Freeman from UFO? Most/all fans will be aware that George Sewell had other acting commitments that prevented him from appearing in the second block of UFO, and that Abe Mandel had instructed the Century 21 team to get rid of the guy with the pockmarked face.
Oh, yes.
Covered that before.
We did.
But has there ever been anything that revealed what actually happened to the character of Freeman? Given that other characters such as Lieutenant Ellis, Lieutenant Harrington, and Lieutenant Ford also disappeared from the show at the same time, is there a possibility of a Big Finish production that could maybe bring the characters together in 1 or 2 episodes and reveal what happened to them? That's a nice idea. Maybe they all went off together on a team-building course and were abducted by the aliens. I realise that this may not fit in with the already produced Big Finish storylines, but maybe there is something there that could be developed. Absolutely love the podcasts. Apparently, great chemistry between all 3 of you, and Richard has a great natural interviewing style that seems to bring out the best in the guests.
does.
The ones with Anton Phillips, Aisha Bruff, and Nicholas Young in particular.
Just those 3.
Yeah, apparently. Keep up the great work. The works of Gerry Anderson and Company have been a part of my life for a very long time, and thanks to your ongoing hard work and efforts, will continue to be so.
Oh,
Kind
that's
regards,
nice.
Mark. Yeah, that's
Thanks,
great.
Mark.
I like
Lovely.
that idea, though. The unseen adventures of the missing shadow operative.
Well, we did have a story where Freeman was removed, but I think we changed the storyline in the end before
Okay.
it was approved on the Big Finish
Yeah.
UFOs.
Ah.
Have you listened, Podsterons? We'd love to know your thoughts. Podcast@gerryanderson.com.
Yeah.
But yes, certainly something worth considering, but we
Yeah.
haven't done it yet.
No, fair enough. Nice. Great.
Simpsons Clips has been in touch.
Well, it's Christmas Day. He
Yeah.
must be cock a hoop today. I bet he's got lots of Lavender Castle merch under the tree.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
all those bits of merch, that lovely Paradox play set.
Bubble bath?
that you could-
Oh, right.
No, not Bubble Bath.
Did they not do Lavender Castle bubble bath?
Don't think they did Lavender
What,
Castle
lavender
anything.
scented bubble? I mean, surely.
No, I don't think there was anything really. It was
No.
rubbish.
Yeah.
Anyway, hello, Richard and Jamie.
Hello.
But not Chris.
No.
No. Simpsons Clips 24 here. This is going to be a very convoluted question.
Uh-oh.
So I'll get straight to it.
Good.
Have you ever heard
Yep.
of
Yes. Lavender Castle.
a sizzle reel?
A sizzle reel. Yes, well, it's a kind of like a show reel, isn't it?
It's
marketing
a little
tool, isn't
tease, a tease marketing tool. Sorry,
Yeah.
my turkey
Can't you
hat's
just
all over
jam
the
it on a
place.
bit?
No, it won't pull down. My head's too big.
Would you like another hat?
And the
or are you
turkey's
happy
too
with
small. No, it's fine.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know what a sizzle reel is, Simpsons Clips is going to tell you.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
that? I am.
A sizzle reel is a video shown to investors and buyers that showcases a show's storyline, setting, characters, look, tone, and style in under a few minutes.
Ah.
I should know,
Why? He's made one.
because one was created for Terrahawks and one for Tugs, which I recreated and got Chris Dale over there, hi
Yeah.
Chris, to provide his voice for. It's up on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out.
Oh.
Now, I'm wondering, by the time this email gets read out,
Yeah.
it'll be coming up to, or probably will be, Lavender Castle's 25th anniversary. So I'm wondering, Was a sizzle reel for Lavender Castle ever created? SIG, Simpsons Clips 24.
Right, that now an interesting question. I guess there would have been something, some sort of promotional
There
material.
were some promo bits and pieces,
Yeah.
but yeah, so many bits from Lavender Castle have just been lost to time. What I do have from Lavender Castle is an end of shooting party video.
Right.
Lavender Castle was made at Cosgrove Hall around the same time as a kids' show then called Rocky and the Dodos.
Oh, yeah.
Are you familiar with Rocky and the Dodos? Well, now you are. And they made a comedic fart gag laden party reel,
Yeah.
which I've got the VHS of at home.
Okay, great.
I'm not sure I could ever release it.
yeah.
Because
Had to get a hell of a lot of permissions from various people.
well,
to
the
do that
Rocky and the
type of thing.
Dodos crew, and also it kind of
Yeah.
might bring the shows into disrepute.
Yeah.
It was quite funny though.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a scissor reel, but I do have a fart reel
Oh,
from
right.
Lavender Castle. There you are.
Hello, Jamie, Richard, and Chris.
Hello, Chris.
Now, this is Matthew Alderman Harris. I thought you would be interested to hear that my cousin Barnaby and I recently went to an event at Pinewood Studios called Futures Festival. It involved having a tour around the site and seeing various film equipment and props. It was great to see around the world-famous studios. I bet it was. The highlight for me was going into the same building where Gerry Anderson had his office and where I shot Space Precinct.
Yes.
He doesn't mention that, but I did.
But it's true.
There was also a framed photo of him on the wall inside, which he'd signed, saying, "To all at Pinewood, my second home. It's FAB, Gerry Anderson."
Yep.
Nice.
It's a nice
Felt a bit
picture.
emotional seeing it and being somewhere where the legendary producer worked, as he is the person I look up to the most in the film industry. And Thunderbirds is my greatest inspiration.
How lovely.
To commemorate the occasion, I then watched the UFO episodes Mindbender and Time Lash, which feature scenes around the studio lot. And I recognised some of it from my trip. Oh, that's nice. It was a great day and an honour to have been somewhere where Gerry Anderson worked and referred to as his second home. Finally, I have some questions for Jamie. Number one. Would it be possible to release a comic anthology of the 90s Thunderbirds comic strips, as they weren't very easy to come by?
It's being looked into, and of course, 2025 sees Thunderbird's 60th anniversary, so it feels like a good time to be doing it, doesn't it?
Number two. Will there be an audiobook of Gemini Force 1, White Storm?
Probably in time, not currently on the cards.
Number three. Will the remaining Thunderbirds novels be adapted for audio?
Maybe in time, but not currently on the cards.
Thanks, guys. Keep up the great work with the podcast, FAB, Matthew Alderman Harris.
Thank you, Matthew.
Very nice.
Yes, also, of course, that Pinewood is where Dad's ashes are. So you were actually,
You were there
at his
with
second
him.
home and his final home, really.
gosh.
That's rather lovely.
Are we doing tours of his first home at all?
Well, in Neasden?
Yeah.
No.
Is there not a blue plaque on the wall?
No, there's not, no.
Should be, really.
No, we did go and visit it for Uncharted.
How does one go about getting plaques on walls? Because I think that should be marked, shouldn't
Yeah,
it?
but they have to have been dead for at least 10 years? So
Is
it
it?
should be, right, or maybe it's longer.
Yeah.
So yeah, we should do
Yeah,
that,
of
really.
course. Legendary TV producer. Did so much for the British film and
Absolutely.
TV industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like an email from me? Well, it's not from me, but I'm going to read it.
Okay, yeah, go on.
It's Ravi.
Oh, yes.
Ravi says, "Hi.
Hi.
I was just listening to one of your podcasts, What
Sorry
If
about that.
Century 21 did the effects for Star Trek, and remembered another tenuous connection that you may have overlooked, which is
Yep.
that at one stage in the later 1980s, Derek Meddings was in line to direct some of the miniature effects on the Star Trek TV reboot that later morphed into Star Trek The Motion Picture.
Yeah.
And for which some concept art and a redesigned USS Enterprise had been created by Ralph Star Wars McQuarrie.
Yes.
I may still have an issue of a fanzine where Meddings is interviewed at his office at Shepperton Studios, a stone's throw from where I live, discussing the project before it was rather unceremoniously canned. This makes some sense in that many US companies were taking advantage of a favourable exchange rate during the 1980s boom period, and so came looking for studios in London for visual effects and animation. Another detail is what differentiated Howard Anderson and the type of effects being done at the time in the UK was in the use of film opticals to combine model work with different backgrounds, something
Yes.
that was more prevalent in Hollywood at the time but limited in the UK due to the cost involved in film stock, running tests and the demands of tight schedules. The effects on Star Wars were almost entirely achieved via multiple optical film passes, not models on wires, etc. Opinions vary on what approach looks most realistic. Well, they used it a lot on Terrahawks as well. Steve Begg was pioneering that in the 80s.
Right.
For example, even in Space 1999, many of the Eagle laser effects were achieved by in-camera double exposure, though there were animated effects for handheld weapons, which must have resulted in additional expenditure for
Yeah.
post-production work, of course.
Yeah.
Anyway, he also sent some AI images done a short while ago, not Star Trek, but very Anderson-inspired, and they are certainly Anderson-inspired.
Nice. Gosh, yeah, very good. I love it when people do their research before they email us, rather than just saying how good we are. They actually sit down and give it some thought.
I'm fine with that, actually. Yeah.
Matt says, hi, Jamie, Richard and Chris. I've started watching Joe 90 for the first time, and my 6-year-old has been watching it with me. We're only a few episodes in, but we're both loving it. The model work in particular is fantastic. My son recently came home from school with some Joe 90 pictures that he'd drawn there. There's a big rat and a control booth with the antenna, and apparently the teachers didn't know what Joe 90 was.
What?
But he soon told them all about it.
What sort of teachers are these that don't know Joe 90?
Exactly.
Goodness
Send
me.
in Ofsted immediately. Whilst I'm here, I've nearly finished watching Space Precinct again. Having not seen it since I was a child. It's as good as I remember. Though as an adult, I'm a bit more aware of some of the rough edges. I wondered what else Grove Television had produced and came across the attached article from 1994 about its sale. It is really positive about Space Precinct, saying, stations in the US have been impressed with the quality of the show and a substantial number of time period upgrades are in the works. But according to Brunner, the new boss of Grove, deciding whether to renew for a second year won't hinge on this season's ratings. The show has wide international appeal. Our merchandising partners tell us that there are royalties from merchandise for the first cycle, which will be substantially greater than first cycle production costs. If nothing else, the company has demonstrated its ability to deliver a quality show. Do we know what changed that meant that Space Precinct wasn't renewed? Does Richard remember any hints that a second series might have been coming? The show had so much potential, and a lot of sci-fi programs of that era improved considerably in later seasons, like Star Trek Next Generation.
Absolutely.
So it's a shame that Space Precinct never got that chance. Also, just to say, with all the new models coming out, the Police Cruiser is one of my favourite Anderson vehicles. Is there any chance of a new model soon for my shelf? Thanks as always, Matt.
I'd love to do one. That's all I can say. The machining tooling costs for that are going to be pretty high, though. So
yes,
it's tricky. Didn't Dad send round a memo at the end of shooting?
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, we all had a letter on the table, I think, at the wrap party saying stages have been booked for 3 months' time, scripts are being written, so we'll see you all after a lovely break.
And then,
word on the street was that the collapse of Grove didn't help.
No.
It certainly wasn't to do with ratings or the way the show was perceived. People often think it was cancelled after one series. It wasn't actually cancelled. It just couldn't find the funding to get back on the ground with the loss of Grove in the US.
Yeah, because they were putting a lot of money in.
That's right.
I mean, if you look at that quote from the Grove guy, you read between the lines.
Yeah.
I mean, our merchandising partners tell us that our royalties from the merchandising cycle will be substantially greater than. That's very much, yes, somebody else has said a good thing.
Okay.
And if it's wrong, that's their fault.
Yes, I see.
It's not saying, we have already received, things are looking great.
Yeah.
It's all very much kind of third parties are saying good things.
Yeah, I mean, all was certainly not rosy in the garden, even as we were filming. I mean, I remember, Money Men coming over from the States partway through the year.
Yeah.
And it looked like it might all be wrapped up, sort of 3, 4, 5, 6 months in.
Yeah, no, they had a terrible time.
That's
very,
right.
very stressful production, that one.
But Matt's right. Had it gone on to a second series, things might have been ironed out, and then we might have had a third, fourth, and fifth series, and several movies, and I wouldn't be sitting here now because I'd be on my, Bahamian yacht somewhere.
Quite right too. Rather than your slough barge.
Yeah, exactly, the slough barge, yeah. Anyway, all for now, do keep them coming in. Podcast at gerryanderson.com, and we'll read them out. This will be in the new year by the time we read out any emails that come in next, so that'll be 2024.
Goodness me.
Yeah, amazing.
Well, before we turn to our Christmas cracker.
Oh, yeah.
Should we pull a Christmas cracker?
Oh, yes, let's have another Christmas cracker.
Okay.
Can I get the prizes this time, though?
Yeah, sure. You want to win?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you win. Right, here we go.
Oh, look at that. And I got it.
Tell us what you've got, Richard
Well-
James. What have you won?
Well, now, here's the... I see.
Yes, it's quite...
Yeah.
It's quite intricate, isn't it?
I've got some stickers and things as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got Scott Tracy title
Nice.
thing.
International Rescue.
International
sticker.
Rescue.
Yeah, I
little
think it
badge.
comes with all those.
Yeah, excellent. And then in here...
In
got
the
my
crepe.
hat. There it is.
Lovely.
Oh, not quite so crinkled as yours.
No.
Actually, it's not quite real.
Well, no, it's like a Thunderbirds hat, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's
That's
not
why.
peaked, is it?
No, that's what I mean, because that would make it a crown rather than a Thunderbirds hat.
All right.
Come on. Did you not get a
Witchcraft
badge?
is usually first to arrive at the scene of disaster.
Thunderbird 1.
Boom.
Did you not get a badge?
Well, I've got a thing, yeah.
No, I got a...
Oh, you did, didn't you?
I got a hood,
no, I
hood
didn't
pin
get a
badge.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, but that's typical.
We'll have to put a complaint in.
Great. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Goodness me.
Right,
Well,
let's get Terry Adlam in and spread some Yuletide joy.
it'll
shall we?
definitely cheer you up, I'll tell.
Come on, Terry. We couldn't get enough of him last week, so he's back, and on Christmas Day too. It seems only fitting that the man who cracks the worst cracker jokes in the world should be joining us for this festive special. And we might even have time to chat all things Gerry Anderson too. It's the one and the only, and thank goodness for that, Terry Adlam.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Have you ever felt quite so wanted and quite so needed?
No.
That's sweet, isn't it? See, that's a little service we do for Terry every year.
Yeah, I don't get out a lot. I look forward to these days.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, well, Merry Christmas. Here we are on Christmas Day.
Terry Christmas.
Yeah.
Terry,
Yeah.
why don't you say it?
Well, all right, Terry
Christmas.
It's a bit odd for him to say it because it's his name.
Yeah.
Go on, say it anyway.
Terry Christmas! There we go. Okay.
Now, before we go any further, we do have another Christmas greeting from another Gerry Anderson star. Would you like to see it now?
Do we?
Yeah, go for
There.
it.
Take a look at this.
A very Merry Christmas to all the listeners of the Gerry Anderson Podcast.
By the way,
Should have said that first, Nick.
here he is, Nick Tafer's Space 1999.
Yes.
How lovely is that?
Yeah,
Alan Carter, wishing you a Merry Christmas.
That's very nice.
How do these people feel you get in touch with them, because you say a lot, when these programs were made 40 years ago and we're still talking about them. What's the reaction when you ask people to
Well,
commit?
the
Mild irritation?
No, nonsense. I mean, it obviously we reach out to lots of people who've worked on the shows and people who are fans or people who just may have a connection. Not all of them get back to us, of course. Those that have come and sat in the chair and really seem to have enjoyed the chance to talk about their experiences. Perhaps aware that there's a whole new generation of fans out there who are starting to enjoy shows like Space 1999 in particular, and UFO and all the Supermarination things. Sadly, of course, time is against us.
Yes.
So a lot of the earlier shows now are sort of lacking in representation in terms of cast and crew and so on. But we're still lucky enough to have around people like Anton Phillips and Aisha Bruff. And, we've got Georgina Moon coming to see us in the new year.
Prentice Hancock next week.
Prentice Hancock next week. Yeah. So I think they like a bit of adulation. Who doesn't?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm one of those people that's listened from day one, every single day.
Well,
Do you really?
honoured.
Every single one?
Every single one. I've
Incredible.
listened to. Yeah.
Have we got better in any way over the last 5 years?
It's got quicker. No, it's my commute. I drive to work. And
that's nice.
I know. Never change the format because when Randomiser comes on, it's Tuesday afternoon, and I'm heading home.
That must never change. That must never change. Right.
Noted.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about what will we be doing. I mean, obviously, it's Christmas Day when this episode appears.
Yes.
I will be at home. In fact, I'll probably be with the in-laws in Maidenhead. Not too far away from here, tucking into my Christmas dinner. How about you, Jamie? Where will you be?
I shall be in a pub having Christmas lunch with Mum.
With Mummy A?
Yeah.
Will you send her our Christmas wishes?
Of course I
And
will.
love and best
And she'll
wishes?
say, "Oh, really?"
Yeah. Yes. And Terry?
I'll be in a local hotel.
Oh,
with the family.
living at large.
Yeah, hope so.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Very nice.
Yeah,
Isn't that nice? Isn't it funny that future us are doing those things now as we're sat here doing this?
Oh, I'm jealous of future
it's
us.
all getting a bit heavy now.
It's a bit weird, isn't
It
it?
is, yeah.
Now, before we have a look at your favourite Anderson character,
Yeah.
I want to go back to a story because we had a bit of an email conversation over the last few days about your various Anderson experiences. And you mentioned to me a particular memory you have of a plasticine toy.
Yeah,
What was that?
I'll be interested if anyone else has heard of it.
Yeah.
One Christmas, I can remember vividly getting a toy. It was like in a box, and it was plasticine. This was before days of Play-Doh.
Yes,
Other
right.
clays are available.
Other craze. Don't know.
And what it was is you cut the box out, and it would make the sort of Thunderbird 2 rock face and
yes,
the
like a diorama
palm
sort of.
trees,
I
those sort
see.
of things.
Ooh.
And then there was a plastic tray of all the Tracy brothers and the Hood, and you'd push the plasticine into the moulds. And then, all different sort of colours. Then you turn the mould out, and then you have these floppy plasticine.
Right.
But I've never seen it or heard of it, but it might have been a dream, I don't know, but I have vivid memories, and that was one of the first vivid memories I had of Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
was
We've
gotta track it
that.
down.
Well, I did a bit of Googling, couldn't find anything. I thought maybe there's a commercial for it.
But
from
it's
back in
just
the day,
such a memory, a vivid memory, that it must have been something. I don't
Someone
know.
somewhere will have the complete Gerry Anderson merchandise guide.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It'll be in there.
Yeah.
Or maybe they remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Email us.
Yeah, tell us.
podcast@gerryanderson.com.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What's Terry going on about?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the subject line. What's Terry going on about?
Yeah, nurse is out the bed again. Right, sorry.
The screens. Talking of Christmas presents,
Oh,
I think there's a. I just see.
you'll get yours later.
I see a
Terry.
little something in your lap.
Don't look down there. I'm going to give you and Chris a present in the randomiser.
Oh, I should look forward to that.
I've got a very carefully wrapped present here for you, Richard.
Oh, so it
And
is.
it's something that I've talked about a great deal, and you know I'm quite passionate about. And I just thought that you deserved to enjoy it.
Do you want me to leave you two alone?
It's a little bit embarrassing because I haven't got him anything.
Oh, I thought, didn't we speak weeks ago about
I
doing
know.
a present
I
exchange?
know, but I've been so busy, Jamie. I haven't had the time. Oh,
Well-
saying that, I'm wobbling this about and it's
Open it then.
it's rattling a bit.
I've wrapped it so very carefully.
You have?
Yes, yes.
Oh, you spent
In
a lot of
themed
time.
paper.
Okay.
Yes,
There we go.
A21 paper,
Oh,
no
yeah.
less.
So it is. Oh, I see.
You could tear it if you wanted to.
Oh.
Yeah, you see, isn't it nice? I may have got a bit angry with it at one point.
Oh.
Yay!
Well done, Jamie.
Merry Christmas.
Does this mean you've come to terms with your demons, or you're just happy to be giving it away?
It's another one I got rid of, isn't it? Well, I did get cross with him, and I have slightly ripped the.
Oh, you have?
Oh,
Oh,
right.
gosh, yes. You really took it out on the packaging there, didn't you?
Sorry, Joe.
My very own Joe 90 The Complete Series, collector's edition, no less.
Wow.
Would you
Wow.
do me a favour and sign it?
Yeah. Sure, be happy to do that.
If I think next year, if I remember, I might try and get you something next year.
If next, right,
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Joe 90 always knew what he was getting for Christmas.
Why?
It's a gift he had.
Right. Is that a joke? Or...
No,
Oh,
when, it will be when it grows up.
Do you want to try that again, or are you happy with
No.
that? Fine, fine.
Fine.
Okay.
Cut.
Now, right. In that case,
Yeah.
see, I've got to lean into the mic here because Terry's got his own and we're sharing.
Oh, right. Well, that's what Christmas is all about.
I think it's about time that we had a look at Terry's favourite character.
Oh, I think so.
And I think it might be who you think it is. Let's have a look.
Oh, it's Blue in Joe 90, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
I got the picture.
Oh, Dick
I
Spanner.
was being framed. Then I made another dumb move. I decided to run for it.
Fabulous.
I'd seen a dumb jerk jump off the top of the Frisco building. He'd scream blue murder all the way down. I wasn't going to yell, but I needed to find a way out and fast. Then I remembered the Zippo miniature parachute I bought out some lush in a bar. German limbo dancing by entered the bar. Jump on Jehoshaphat. How many times can you be wrong? The street was coming out fast. A fall like this could really loosen my nuts. There was only one thing left to do.
Oh, fantastic days. Fantastic days.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now look,
Yeah.
I've frozen on this frame deliberately for you there.
I think we were speaking last week
Yeah.
about this, the opportunity to be able to that and now, have your name up there.
Yeah.
And, even with Shane Rimmer, Scott Tracy was doing the voice, and I'm a big James Bond fan. Shane's been in loads of Bond films in extras, and I got to meet him. And I think one of the greatest sort of accolades I've had was Shane once said that Dick Spanner was the funniest thing he had ever done. So,
Yeah.
I was really proud of that.
Did
So,
you
yeah.
have much to do with the voice cast when you were...
Not really,
You didn't see
no.
them, I guess.
We were sitting on the recordings.
Oh, you would?
Yeah.
And
when
give them
we could.
direction, or...
Just a little.
Yeah.
I didn't feel I could give Shane Rimmer
Yeah.
direction, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, no, we was very much left up to our own devices because, as I say, a lot of the voices were us.
Yeah.
Doing all the voice in the
just have a
background.
few cans of beer and-
because I was May East. Come on, leave me. No, that was me.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Give me a
I'm
little shimmer.
going to snip that bit out. Have it as my ringtone. maybe.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, but as I say, and we was talking last week as well. My love of comedy, sight gags.
I mean, it's all wrapped up there, isn't
and that was sort of going back as well when I was speaking to Gerry when we was developing it, and he said, what's it about? And I said, well, it's this detective that can't do anything but solves everything. So he's very much like Clouseau, Inspector Clouseau to Peter Sellers. And there was, around that time, there was a wonderful American program called Police Squad. With Leslie Nielsen.
Which became the Naked Gun
That's
films.
right, yeah. And, and then I think the one I remember saying to Gerry, I said, what I see is sort of crazy camera angles and Dutch angles. Now, I don't know if anyone knows, you all know what Dutch angle is. It's where the camera is slightly tilted. And I was a great fan of the Batman 66 series, and they used to use that a lot.
Yeah.
But I said to Gerry, but on Dick Spanner, when it's tilted, all the furniture will go down, and that was one of the things he said that sold it, because he thought, we could sort of use that. So
and it was a format that seemed to suit. And I don't know how to say this kindly. The sort of the lack of finesse, is that fair to say, that the format seemed to suit that kind of rough and ready?
It was a really
approach.
Yeah, it was very much.
It wouldn't have worked as a glossy multi-million-dollar.
I've often, people have said, why don't you bring Dick Spanner back, and maybe bring him back as CGI, things like that, and you think, well, yeah, that would be lovely. But that's not Dick Spanner,
that's right.
Because I always look at that, because this come out about the same time as A Grand Day Out, the Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah.
And if you look at that was very basic, And also, we had budget restraints, real budget restraints, and we were just doing what we could find in the workshop. And, the first pilot, we didn't even have armatures. It was plasticine all the way through.
Yes.
But I think that, working with Steve and Mark Harris and Mark Woolard and everybody and Barry Jones, we always said it was like an end of an era to a certain extent, especially with Terrahawks as well. And at that time, it was the end of the belt and braces. It was the pulleys, the running along, and it was all before sort of CGI, motion control, come in. So it was like the end of an era. Yeah. But I think that's part of the charm of it, and I think, if you ever make Dick Spanner again, you've got to try and keep up with that, because we did make the one that's on the missing videos, the series that never took off.
That's right.
That was a little bit slicker. We had a bit more money. Bob Bell did some brilliant sets, but it was still there.
The rustic charm.
The rustic charm.
Rustic charm.
Yeah.
So what year was Dick Spanner? What are we talking there?
Oh, I think
84?
84, 85, round about that time. Yeah.
Extraordinary.
Yeah. So,
I mean, it still astounds me that 12 years later, it was all multi-million-dollar Hollywood stars space precinct in 2 stages at Pinewood. Well, I mean, what a journey to have made for your dad.
You talk a lot about it. Sort of time passing and things like that, and how things come round. Currently, there's a lot of interest in Spanner. I'm getting people who were the audience, they were at university or college, now coming up and, saying, oh, I remember that. Yeah. And I met, I was on a film a couple of years ago, and one of the stars come, and we were just chatting, and I said, yeah. He said, what did you do? He said, oh, Dick Spanner. He said, I loved it. And he's the only person I know who's actually hummed the tune as he's walking around.
Wow.
So, and what with sort of like, social media and the internet, I'm getting a lot more,
right?
People sort of, can you sign something for me? Will you? I never thought I'd be going to conventions, and so I look back on that, and it's another part of my story, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah,
love it.
Incredible. Talking of things that we love it when our podsterons get in touch with questions. For our guests.
We love it slightly less when they get into the gags, though.
Right.
But as it's Christmas Day, of course, we have some cracker gags for you, courtesy of our wonderful podsterons. So take a handful.
You've got quite a few there.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Okay.
Bring it on.
Here we
That's
go.
It. There's another one fell out as well.
Here we go.
That one. And there's still some more in here.
Right, here we go. Oh, someone from last week.
Yeah.
Paul Hyder.
Oh, yes.
How do the Tracy brothers know whose presents are whose?
How do they know whose presents are whose? Nothing about feeling their presents, is it? No, that's not really. Go on.
No. They use gift tags.
Tags.
Thunderbirds go. Yeah.
TAG.
Okay.
Gift tags.
Yeah.
Because they've got brains.
Because they've got brains, says Chris Dale.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
A personal one here.
Oh dear. This one slipped in.
What's the difference between the podcast trio
Right.
and the Houses of Parliament?
This could be extremely rude.
Yeah, it could be. Go on.
You can't find 3 wise men in Parliament.
Hey! Who's that from?
Yeah, who's that from?
That was from Steve Bushell.
Oh, Steve. Well done, Steve. We approve of that
Yeah,
one.
definitely.
If it were a competition, that would be the winner.
Yep.
Okay, Mark Perkins.
Oh,
I
yes.
couldn't make it to my grandson's nativity play.
Right.
So I asked if they could live stream it.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah.
But they said there was no Zoom in the end. I like that one. There's no Zoom in the end. I like that one. That's a good one.
Wow.
Like that, Mark.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's one of my favourites.
Yeah.
How did Mary and Joseph know that Jesus weighed 8 pounds when he was born? There was an away in the manger. Away in the manger.
It's away in the manger. I think we had that one last year.
Probably did. It always repeats. Tom Hodden,
yeah.
did you know your car insurance probably won't pay out if you're hit by a flying sleigh or reindeer?
Oh, yeah.
It's their Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they are good, aren't they?
I mean,
Come on.
Good.
It's good work, Podsterons.
Is it? They're working on it.
Yeah,
they're
they
working
are,
on
yeah,
it. It's
yeah.
good. What we got here? It wouldn't be Christmas without Al Terry. His puns are going to be far more entertaining than ones we get in the crackers this year.
Yes.
Can't guarantee that.
Oh.
Can't guarantee that.
Says who? Who's that
That's Andrew.
Well,
Andrew Hyde.
Andrew's quite right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Can't get better than Terry. at
Jeff
Christmas.
Tilley. Does Young Star eat real food? Sure, but don't take it for granted.
okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that is a pun.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm going to come back to that one. That's
For good or bad, we don't know.
I think. Mark Perkins, his car's just been hit from behind. The bloke told me he was driving home for Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah, he's been weird. Chris
Rear.
Rear.
It's Chris Rear's.
Yeah.
Chris Rear driving home for Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's a play on the word rear.
Yeah,
and
no, I
his
got it.
surname.
Thank
Oh,
you.
I see.
I got that.
Yeah.
Some of
Great.
these jokes are a bit like my tennis.
Oh.
Hit and miss. Mark Perkins. Bing Crosby
Yeah.
got so cross when David Bowie got him a cheap woolly hat for Christmas.
Oh.
He said, "Why didn't you get me a proper pom-pom? A proper pom-pom. Proper pom-pom." All together now.
That's a
That's a classic.
That is
That's a
good.
classic. Well done, Mark.
Do you
That's a
think he thought of that
classic.
himself?
That's a classic.
Have you heard that before?
I haven't. No, that. Oh,
Uh-oh.
I think that speaks 1,000 words.
Yeah, you and me both, Birch.
Yeah.
Someone's been on the Christmas brandy, I think.
Oh dear.
Right.
Why couldn't slow-mo relax at Christmas?
Why couldn't slow-mo relax at Christmas? Oh, I don't know.
Couldn't switch off.
Oh, is that it?
What did Zelda buy Youngstar for Christmas?
I don't know.
A record by his favourite composer.
Yes.
Anyone know his favourite composer?
Youngstar's favourite composer.
Yeah.
No.
Android Lloyd Webber.
Oh.
And just before Christmas,
Yeah.
Dick Spanner
Yeah.
likes to rearrange his lifting exercise equipment
Oh, right.
in his home gym.
Okay, it's very convoluted, but yes, okay. He
Well,
likes
it's
to rearrange
his lifting exercise weights
in his home gym.
Have you
Go
got
on,
that? Do you
yes.
want to write it
Dick
down?
Spanner, yeah.
Yeah.
Because?
It's just another dumbbell move. I said last week that I have a special joke for Earl Black. Hi, Earl. Love your correspondence that you do. So I've got one specially for you. Mind you, Earl sent one for him as well. And here's Earl's one. Richard, Terry, Jamie and Chris were in a country fete when they came up to my cake stall. Yeah. And Terry asked, "Why is this cake more expensive than all the others?" To which Earl replied, "Because it's Madeira cake." I like it. But here's one for you. Well, you like my motorway jokes. A lorry carrying snooker equipment has overturned on the M4. So please expect queues in both directions. Okay. I think that's... Is there any more?
There are always more.
God, we'd be
from
into
our
New
wonderful
Year.
bosses. Look, there's 2 or 3. Grab the rest there.
Grab the rest.
And let's have them all.
And then just make them into a nice little ball.
And
Right, what we got here?
Forgotten one there. There you
Oh,
go.
cool.
That one as well.
Here we go. Daniel Phillips.
Yeah.
If Mr.ons are from Mars,
Yes.
does that mean Mrs. Terrons are from Venus?
Ah.
Oh, a bit of a literary one. A little bit of a literary one there. Yeah.
That sounds original as well.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Richard Goodborn.
Oh, yeah.
If Frank Skinner did a double act with Tiger Neinstein,
Yeah.
would it be called Frankensteinstein? Frankensteinstein.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
They could sort of hammer that into a joke.
Scott Anthony, just
Begley,
hammer it.
yeah.
Scott Anthony Beleghi, what do you call international rescues when they have the chills?
Don't know.
Thunderbirds.
Okay.
Ross is cackling away at that one.
Ross,
That tickled a bone.
You like that one?
Cheeks raised a little bit.
Did
a little
you?
smile.
You
was
cracked a
raised.
smile, that's
Yeah,
unusual.
just.
Steve Bushell, have you heard? Tex Tucker's left Four Feather Falls and someone has changed the iconic town sign to Times New Roman font. Looks like there's a new sheriff in town.
Oh, a new sheriff.
Sheriff in town.
They changed the font. That was a really convoluted way of getting to a gag.
Okay.
Change the font, a new serif. Excellent.
This is just from Hugh Poulter. It's not. I don't think it's a joke. It's
Yeah.
just not really a question as such. Oh, I see. But thank you for being a part of Space 1999 and appearing in a few episodes of The Protectors.
Oh,
thank you.
that's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, I did.
That's my favourite one.
that's for,
I really enjoyed that.
No, sorry, Terry, that's for next week.
Oh,
Sorry.
right.
That's not for yours. That's Apprentice Hancock who's joining us next week. I came Space 1999. It wouldn't surprise me. He's got so many
Yeah.
fingers in
I
so
was
many
in
pies.
Space Police.
Get away.
Yeah.
What were you?
There's a scene where the original, this is Space Police, the original one, where the police car goes through a site, doing a chase, and they go through a big hoarding.
Yes.
And if you look at it very closely, there's two people being mugged.
Oh, yeah.
One person being mugged. And it was Mark Woolard,
Woolard.
my brother-in-law, playing the mugger, and I was being mugged. And we're just down in the corner.
Oh.
So there you go.
Really?
So I was in there.
Is that your only on-screen appearance?
I was always the hand of Dick Spanner in the glove.
Ah.
Yeah.
What was your involvement in Space Police then? And
This was the pilot.
Yes, that's
so
right.
So I was on special effects. On that.
so what? A Space Precinct happened, but I mean, I know it's sometime later.
Yeah,
but
I had
you'd sort of got a life yourself.
Yeah,
and
moved on.
got a job.
Yeah. I'd started work in a corporate video company.
I see.
That I was going to work for a couple of weeks and end up staying with them for 27 years.
There you go. There we are. Bills to pay.
Yeah, so I
That's right.
was unavailable for then.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Great. Now look, just before we say goodbye, and talk to you very briefly about your latest line of work. We have alluded to it that you are now in a position to encourage other people to enter the business.
Very noble.
Absolutely. Let's have another look, and it's Christmas Day, and I think this is a perfect. It's not a Christmas film. But it's the sort of film we'll all be sitting around to watch a little later on, having had our fill of sprouts and turkey. It's Raiders of the Lost Ark. Let's have a look at this.
I was there.
How's that?
Right.
Was that Terry's head?
No, you can see where that tooth falls. Oh, God. You have to come round and watch Raiders with me, and I've put out all the bits I did.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's fabulous.
Oh, wow.
As I say, just a young trainee, so I was generally pulling things or pushing things out of the way. But what a film!
Yeah.
The Ark has something that man is not meant to disturb. An army which carries the Ark before it.
This is for the new 4K release. Looking crisp
Fabulous.
and beautiful and new as the day it was born.
Yeah, saw all this. I was there.
Yeah.
And it's just so lucky. Wow. Go along.
I mean, so many iconic moments in one film. It's outrageous, isn't it?
You know, also I tell a story. You know, before memorabilia became so sought after now.
Yeah.
I remember we were filming in the bar, and we'd finished all filming, and everyone's collecting stuff up. And I think there was a scene that never made it. Indy got shot in the fedora, and it just went into that. And everyone cleaned up, and someone said, "Do you want this?" And I said, "No, it's got a hole in it." And the other one is I was out in the desert and just sitting down waiting for a shot, and one of the assistant directors come up and said, "We're looking for people as extras to play German soldiers. You know, do you want to do it?"
Yeah.
And I thought, that's good. And now it was B80. I had long hair and I had a beard and everything. And they said, you have to have short back and sides and have your hair cut.
Yeah.
I said, I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. The guy next to me said yes. Yeah. And there's an iconic scene where you see Indy with the bazooka aiming at the people carrying the ark.
That's it, yeah.
And the guy that was sitting next to me is just standing next to the ark.
Well,
Could have been me. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Terry, we can't give you Indy's fedora with a hole in it,
Yeah.
but you don't fancy Joe 90? What?
That's yours.
Maybe
Vomit
later.
off
Do you
all
want
the
it?
tail.
You have it if you want it.
Yeah.
I'll never watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
No,
I'll give you
okay.
two torches for it.
Yeah, 2 torches equals 1 Joe 90. Maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
Terry, thank you so much for joining us yet
always
again
a
for another
pleasure.
Christmas.
Always a pleasure. Never a chore.
Oh, isn't that great?
I wish you and everybody, all the boss, a fantastic Christmas. Have a great day.
Thank you.
And I'm really proud to be part of this legacy.
Well, that's wonderful. And now producing a legacy of your own. Tell us very quickly about Resource Productions and what you're doing over
Resource
there.
Productions is a CIC charity company based here in Slough, and our mission statement is to make social change through arts and the creative business. And part of our thing is to help people get into the creative industry, not just necessarily film, but dance, theatre, and stuff
Amazing.
like that. And
Amazing.
it's as I say, I've been talking about some of the great jobs I have, on the films and things like this. But this is one of them up there as well.
Ah, that's incredible to hear.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks so much
Thank
for coming
you.
to join us again.
Thank you.
Terry Christmas.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
It's Terry Adlam. It's Christmas!
Dear old Tell.
Dear old Terry.
You're right, it wouldn't be Christmas without Terry, would
No,
it?
absolutely. And I've already booked him for next year.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Well, by then I've said get a cab to Pinewood because we'll be shooting at Pinewood by
Oh,
then.
obviously, yeah, in front of a live studio audience.
That's not a bad idea
I mean,
for
we
a
could
Christmas special.
do a little live tour, couldn't we, around a few places?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Go to the best locations.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Okay, I'll leave that with you, Jamie.
Thanks.
Something else we think about. Now, over on our Facebook group.
Oh, yes.
Facebook.com/groups/Podsterons.
yeah.
People have been commenting like Billy-O.
Right.
No, not people have been commenting like Billy-O. They've actually been commenting like Billy-O.
Okay.
Some people have been commenting like Pen Quiller. For example, Pen
like
Quiller.
Billy-O, yeah.
Podders might want to check out this week's Infinite Monkey Cage podcast, which is talking about how accurately or not space is depicted in movies. As well as mentioning 2001, Alien, Gravity and The Martian, there are a couple of references to Space 1999.
So funny. I was just listening to that, or starting to listen to that, on the way into the podcast studio this morning.
Aha.
Yeah.
And of course, Robin Ince and Professor Brian Cox, previous podcast
Yeah, they've
guests.
been on before, you know.
Yeah,
Come
that's right.
on.
Yeah.
Jeff Tilley's written in.
Oh, yeah.
Happy to say I followed Jamie's advice on a recent broadcast.
Oh, right.
Turns out that
What's he
cream
done?
worked.
Did he put his sprouts in 3 days early? Oh, I see.
I too was one of those folks that didn't listen to the podcast via a major service.
Okay.
At James' suggestion, I googled IMDb podcasts and got the link.
Yep.
I had to create a login, and then I could write my 10 out of 10 review.
Hey!
Thank you, Jeff.
Excellent.
It takes 24 hours to get cleared, and then it's online to be read by the whole wide world. To finally have a clear conscience after all these years of not revating anywhere.
And the trouble that Jeff has put us to as well recently.
I know.
He's redeeming himself
What a
big time
pain.
now.
Hopefully, more good review deeds will be done after mine. No
Yes.
excuses now.
Excellent,
He's
excellent,
right.
that's right.
What about the rest of you? What are you
Yeah.
doing? Come on.
Come on.
IMDb podcast.
Yeah,
sign
full
up.
of Christmas cheer.
10 out
Come
of 10
on.
rating, thank
Now's
you.
the time to do it. Lou Dean, hi everyone. I'm currently recovering from my weekend in Birmingham for MCM. I went as Maya for both days. From
Rice
Space
Krispie
1999.
eyebrows.
I didn't expect so many people to recognise Maya, and I managed to have some good Anderson chats and made some good new friends.
Well done, Lou. Brilliant.
yeah, nice.
Paul Carey. Sorry, you're waiting for me there. Paul Carey writes, thanks for the ad to the group. I've been an Anderson fan since as long as I can remember, which prompted me to wonder, what are some of your childhood Anderson-related memories? Mine is having Thunderbirds wallpaper when I was 4 years old. We moved house sometime before my 5th birthday.
Oh, and left the wallpaper behind, I guess.
Yeah, this would have been 1969.
Oh, I wonder if it's still there under other successive
under
layers. of
layers,
wallpaper.
yeah.
Sweet.
There's I don't know if it's still there. Atomic Burgers in Oxford, I think I mentioned this before. They've got Thunderbirds wallpaper in the loos.
Keena Pritchard says, my memories are of my dad and me watching Stingray and Thunderbirds together. My dad used to sing Aquamarina to me. I mean, we had this conversation with Sadie Miller recently. All dads like to sing Aquamarina.
Yeah, of course.
Also seeing female characters having more exciting jobs like the angels in Captain Scarlet. I love all things Anderson. says
Brilliant,
Keena.
Keena. Well,
Yeah,
welcome.
yeah.
David Rouse. That wallpaper you mentioned earlier is still up in my brother's room.
Oh, to which David
Amazing.
Lawson replied, I'm sure he won't mind if you tear off a small section. If he's a fan, small price to pay.
Quite right, too.
Yeah, tear it off and send it to us.
That's a great new phrase for the podcast. Yeah.
There we are. All for now, but it's a busy old place, the Facebook group. So if you want to talk all things Anderson or, share pictures of your Christmas presents, let us know what you found.
Anderson
on your
themed or
tree.
otherwise.
Yeah, Anderson themed or otherwise. Yeah.
Or something that's otherwise themed, but somehow Anderson related.
Sure, I like it.
I don't know, like a lemon squeezer.
Aye.
Perhaps.
Gotcha. Yeah, great. Yes, post it on our Facebook group and we'll probably read it out in the new year.
Good. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, great. Something else we're really looking forward to, and something else that everyone looks forward to.
Yes?
It's the Randomiser.
Ah, with the Randomiser.
Yes, and I suppose it'll be Terry Adlam pressing the button, so let's see what comes up, shall we?
Oh, good luck,
Over to you.
Christmas Dale.
Christmas Dale, yeah, why didn't I think of that?
I don't know, you're the clever one normally.
Yeah, anyway, here it is.
So Terry, Christmas Day, and instead of spending it with your friends and family, you've come to Slough to spend it with us.
Yeah.
What's this?
Christmas presents.
Wow, thank you ever so much. It's a bit dusty, this one.
Letraset.
Letraset. Oh,
Wow.
I've heard of such things.
Yes.
This is lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This will make about £5 on eBay.
If that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could have minutes of fun with this.
Thank you very much, Jamie.
Right.
Anywho,
No cheese.
there's no randomiser this week. Many years ago, people will no doubt remember that we had the randomiser print out the names of 5 Gerry Anderson Christmas episodes.
Right.
We put them into crackers. 2 of them have been pulled. We have 3 crackers remaining. So, Terry, you are welcome to choose whichever cracker you like. We've got Joe 90, Terrahawks, and New Captain Scarlet Christmas episodes in there. Yes, you'd like a Terrahawks one, wouldn't you?
I'm going for the middle one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, we ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Oh, no. That's fine. But what did you win?
Ooh. Lady Penelope.
Lady Penelope. That's very nice.
Right. And this is this the traditional hat?
This is the hat indeed.
Oh, it's almost Thunderbirdy, isn't it? Yeah. It looks good.
They missed a trick by not putting the logos on the
Yeah,
front. So you have the episode printout in the cracker, I believe, but there is also a little bit of a question there.
Which Thunderbird is in a state of constant orbit?
Oh. Do you know Podsterons? I think most of them do. What one's that?
Is it number 5?
Thunderbird 5, yes. So, do you have the episode printout?
Christmas Miracle.
Christmas Miracle, you know what that is, don't you?
Terrahawks.
Terrahawks, here we go.
Yes.
Terrahawks, a Christmas miracle. And it is. Terry, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
In your lovely shirt.
Merry Christmas.
And you, Merry Christmas indeed. Yes, as you all may have noticed, Terry is joining us to sit in on this episode. So we're very excited for this. Does this bring back any memories? Hawk Nest, Christmas?
I think with this one, I had moved down to the special effects department by there, but I had spent quite a time up on the puppet stage building the sets, and the sets were like jigsaw puzzles, beautifully made. Someone will remind me who the name of the builder was, but he did wonderful jobs, and it was all put it together like a puzzle all over a big pit, so the puppeteers could do that underneath. So yeah, it was. You had to be, I'm glad I was much younger then, because you had to be quite fit. And this was another one, Zelda's spacecraft, loads of pieces, and we were trying to get everything done as quickly as possible. So if this wasn't being used, we'd try and put up and get as many shots, but you might be putting up 2 sets a day.
Yeah.
So you'd have to strike all that, store it, and then build up the other one. So
Yeah, I've seen pictures of this set with various sort of trapdoors in the floor.
Yeah, that's it,
Was it that there was like a set number and you just kind of had to use what was there, or could you say, oh, we need one there, someone get the saw and let's cut a new hole in the floor?
No, because as I say, you very rarely see the floor because it was all built over a big pit.
Yeah.
So you might get little bits where you can just like a false ceiling or a false floor that you can put in, but we tried not to sort of damage the set as much as we can because we're going to keep using it.
It's a wonderful set, particularly this one.
Yeah.
I've always loved that rotating thing, whatever it's supposed to be.
I'm not sure where that came from, but it really works.
It makes getting screenshots of Zelda sitting in front of it really difficult because it's always moving and it's always blurry. But
these were all the stock shots that Steve did.
And even there's some beautiful props in there. That painting and so forth.
Peter. I'm forgetting names.
Let him sleep.
Peter. No, the prop maker. He was brilliant. Absolutely. I started work with him when I first joined. He was the prop maker, and on the set, he was actually had his prop making thing on the set. He shot.
See, I'm actually, I own that red telephone that's on Tiger's desk now.
Oh,
I got it in the auction
wow.
a few years ago,
fabulous.
yeah. I also bid on the helmet that young Star wore later in this episode, but I didn't get it.
The sort of World War One. Yeah.
Now, Zero, what time is it?
0800 hours.
But this was sort of like, Bob Bell with Gary Tompkins, Mark Harris. All these people have gone on. Gary and Mark have gone on to be top art directors working on Star Wars and Harry Potter. So once again, it was a great training ground.
I suggest you both change your...
Peter Holmes.
All right.
Peter Holmes.
Yeah.
1099.
There are some pictures of the prop department, I guess. Just shelves and shelves of all of these desks and chairs and bits and pieces.
Yeah.
It's all lovely, produced in miniature. Especially like the china and the paintings and such.
Yeah.
I don't suppose you actually remember specifically this episode being shot, do you?
I do, yeah. I say at the moment it's a lot of on the special effects stage. It's a lot of stock shots at the moment. But once we get that, I remember because I think this one was one of those sort of sets where it was because you had the tables that you set up with sand and you have a lot of exteriors. And I think this one, if I remember rightly, it's a lot of on the moon.
Yeah.
So it was all just. When we did sort of like flying in space, the whole studio was covered in black velvet. And so there was no building of sets on the tables. And if I remember rightly, this was mainly just a black studio.
Yeah, it's a rare Christmas special that can claim it's got lots of explosions in it. Even for an Anderson Christmas episode, that's quite rare. 'Cause for the most part, they're quite sort of small scale and quite cosy, the Christmas episodes. Whereas this one is fairly spectacular. And it also has almost a bit to say in terms of the inspiration behind the story, which I suppose we'll get to later. But I've always enjoyed this one.
Some lovely lighting as well. Really nice.
Yes. And I would imagine that it would have been produced on something of a budget compared to, say, previous Anderson shows. But even now, it still holds up.
Yeah.
I believe there's a whole world behind that little sliding blue door.
Yeah. I love that. Fly Me to the Moon. And I think that is one of the original props from Space 1999.
It's the same rotating moon, Turned up in other things filmed at Bray as well, like Doctor Who and so on.
Oh, wow.
You've picked up an intruder. Hold on a moment.
Don't know what to do you, clever clogs?
Of course I do.
So how do you feel overall the series compared to sort of previous Anderson stuff?
I can see why some people don't like it as much. I think it's some of the time the proportions can be a bit out. But once again, I've been speaking to Jamie and Richard about it. As it moved on, not specifically this one, but there was a lot more comedy in it.
Yeah.
And I think, it wasn't something you got in the Anderson programs up to this. Obviously Tony Barwick doing the business, but as this went on a bit more, and as you know, when we've done the audio ones, we really focus on the comedy, and I think that was different. Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people were expecting Thunderbirds Mark II, and I think I've heard it said that Terrahawks is not very good at being Thunderbirds, but it's very good at being Terrahawks. It is its own thing. There's no reason why it should be like the older shows.
But obviously, I was in my 20s when I was watching this, but I've spoken to people who were very, very, 8 or 10, and Zelda scared them.
Yeah.
Really did. And you talk to people about Terrahawks and they think, well, that's the one with Zelda. So that's sort of like been imprinted on their minds.
Even with it now being on ITVX, you search ITVX and Terrahawks, you see a lot of people going, "Oh, I haven't seen that in years, and I've spent the whole day watching it." And great fun. Rare shot of a puppet's feet there.
Yes.
I'm not interested in bravery from machines.
See, once again, this was Gerry giving people opportunities. I think Tony Lenny directed this, who was the editor, and I know Tony Bell's son, had a go at directing. And you also had, your Alan Patillos and your Des Saunders, people like that. So you had the experience, and then Gerry giving the opportunity for other people.
So if the TV series had gone on a bit longer, do you think you might have asked to write any of it?
I think I would have loved to, yeah, because I really, once again, sort of working with Gerry, I was getting more and more into writing as well. So I think, if they did another series, I might have sort of moved forward with that, yeah.
Yes, Mother.
So we're now getting into the sort of inspiration of this one, which is the World War I Christmas truce,
yes.
which I think is just a genius idea to base a story on. And even though it's a dream, everyone is so in character.
Yeah. And it's very poignant, the bits coming up. It sort of reminded me a bit of the last episode of Blackadder Goes Forth.
Yeah.
Which was, just made you shiver.
Yeah.
Now I think this one, I'm not 100% sure. I think this is when we started to discover rubber dust.
All right.
Because we've been doing all the explosions, and then a local company, obviously you probably can't get it today because of health and safety and chemicals, but they found out rubber dust would they come in different colours, so you could put it on the sand.
All right.
Make it. And then we saw, if you look at these explosions, that when it goes off, there's balls of flame. And that's the rubber burning.
Oh, right.
But it instantly disappears.
Yeah.
So you could have really big explosions, but it especially on tabletops, and it disappeared really quickly.
Oh.
But, as I say, you probably couldn't use it now but you can see it sometimes, when you see the flames just. It just added to the spectacular sort of effect of it.
And again, this stuff still holds up incredibly well.
Yeah.
And this also incorporates the cube guns, which had only been seen in, I think, one episode previous.
Yeah.
And then I don't think that was ever used again.
No.
And also battle tanks on the moon.
Yeah.
This is the only time you see that. And it all just looks great.
Sort of wonderful shots,
Especially when this one just comes past in the foreground.
Yeah. And as I say, those tables were about 3 meters, not that long.
No.
Not that long. So, what you was getting out there, and once again, DOP Harry Oakes, experience doing wonderful jobs here.
Yeah. There's a wonderful sense of scale and location to it all.
Mother.
But you're talking about characters, and another character that never really took off was Pluto, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think you see it in this one.
Yeah, he's out on the surface with them. See, I have a feeling that there's an episode that was produced a couple of episodes after this, where Youngstar and Pluto are somewhere, and there's a huge battle, and at the end only Youngstar is the survivor.
Right.
And I've kind of always assumed that Pluto sort of died there because he never came back. But yeah, that's just my own idea. I think he's probably in one of the audios somewhere.
Yeah.
You are an android. You don't need.
Had you met any of the cast prior to doing the audios?
No. I don't think I met any of the cast until we did the audios, because that was all sort of done separate.
Yeah.
In the all at Bray, but done separately. And this is, once again, we only had one Zeef.
Yes.
And that's Steve Begg doing it all in camera. The Zeefs were on like a pole, black pole covered in black velvet, and it was the camera that was moving. So that was static, and we had a little control to make them bank.
Yeah, I've seen some sort of raw footage.
Sorry.
Yeah, I've seen some sort of raw footage. There's like a shot of a Zeef approaching Earth, and as it gets closer to Earth, it kind of banks so that the two aren't in the same space.
And as I say, that was all done in camera. Sort of going forward, rolling it back, and
You'd never tell that those three Zeefs weren't together.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little clue too.
And once again, we had a monitor, but Steve would probably have like a Chinograph pen or pencil that he would draw on the screen, so he knew where the track was and where he could put the stars.
Pieces.
We follow the battle plan to victory.
I think you were saying as well that Einstein is a bit of a piece of work, I mean, throughout the series, but particularly
this
in
one
this.
really sort of, yeah.
And the fact that this is his own dream as well.
Yes,
It's like, I'm going to ruin Christmas for everybody, because that's what I do.
Are you going to sleep?
Yes.
And part of me also thinks that if it ever came to a final battle between the Terrahawks and the Martians, this is how it would go down for real.
Yeah.
None of this feels out of character for any of them.
You're right.
Except perhaps the ending of the dream, which we'll get to. But yeah, the fact that this is all inspired by real life events is incredibly
It's not pulling back.
No.
It's
well, you've got the Zeroid carcasses there. That's always fairly graphic. Seeing them on fire and with holes in them.
Tell the battle tanks to cease fire.
10-10, patron.
Listen. The Terrahawks have stopped firing.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like the silliness of the series, but it was often quite poignant, and this is just a beautiful place to take inspiration from. I would imagine it probably went over the head of certain younger members of the audience.
Did.
And
yeah. Oh. But there's silence there, and the music's gone and things.
And of course, you only have a handful of Zeroids and a lot of, I'm guessing, number stickers to apply to them.
It's a miracle. A Christmas miracle.
Oh.
Can anyone over there hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Hold your fire. I'm coming out.
And that's clearly one of those reversed shots that you'd said about earlier.
Or sometimes we had like an air canister, like an aqualung, with a little tube on it with like a trigger, and then we would blow them out of shot with air.
Yeah.
So that works sometimes.
Of inviting them back.
Welcome to our humble ship.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Yes. Happy Christmas. Thank you. We have heard of Christmas. It is a festival. A celebration.
Yeah, I think the voice actors do a really good job throughout the whole series. But this is a nice dynamic as well of friendship and...
I think, and the futility of war, sort of coming out on that.
Let's have a party.
Which is something, you can't teach kids early enough, I don't think.
This song and this music, Kate Kestrel's song, takes me right the way back to where I was in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
This really sums up the sort of type of 80s music that was going on at the time. This was times of, I think, sort of Back to the Future, Flashdance, and it's a real... when I was watching it recently, I thought, yep, this is the 80s. I can remember this so well. This atmosphere.
And I still say that these are all really good songs for the most part. It must have been very difficult to churn out. I think there's about 20 over the course of the series. They're very listenable.
Moya Griffiths.
Moya Griffiths, yeah. And sadly, most of them don't survive.
So they've never done a recording of them.
There's a soundtrack album just come out, but only 2 or 3 of them exist in full.
Oh, right.
Some of them you can kind of piece together by lifting chunks from the episodes.
Yeah.
But that's not one of them, unfortunately.
With the enemy?
And of course, we have our special, slower, romantic Christmas.
Yes. That was.
Yeah, oddly, this was one they didn't try to release. SOS was released.
Yes, I remember we did the video for that.
with the explosions going off in front of Vanderbilt Records at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Any danger of sort of damaging the models at that point? Because in that shot, it's a very close explosion.
Explosions were always pointed away, and also, you know, there was a foreshortening in the camera sort of thing. Maybe got some scorch marks, but never really sort of destroyed much of them, especially like the Thunderbirds one.
No. Oh, scorch marks, that's just added detail, isn't it?
Yeah.
And again, looking at all this party gear and the streamers and the hats, all for one scene.
Yeah.
I always think that's great with the puppet shows, where you've had to build puppet scale hats, balloons.
Yeah. So I think, you know, that was helped by the puppets probably being the biggest that Anderson's ever used. So, you know, that wasn't too bad to get the scale in. You know, so, you know, children's hats would fit them.
Yeah.
To a different tune when I get you home, you wretched boy. I may never go home again.
So do you remember a particular, like, favourite episode from the show to work on, or is it all just one big happy memory?
It is. It's one big. I think it was almost the final one. On special effects wise, we had a oil refinery.
Yes.
And I think we just put as many explosions into it. I enjoyed that one, and the other one I enjoyed was Spruilla.
Oh yeah.
We had the King Kong thing. But also, you know, I had some great. Yes, it's amazing. I must admit, I did forget about this when I was watching it the other day, and I went, oh right.
Oh dear.
And of course, again, this is still Tiger's dream.
Yeah.
So, what does this say about our fearless leader? We don't want to know. We don't want to think about this.
Let's not go there. I think going back to when I was on the puppets, there's some favourite episodes. Space Samurai. Thought that was a beautiful set. That was really nice. And I think the other one, which you have a prop from, was the Sheriff's Office.
Oh yeah.
Zelda, please.
That was in a few episodes.
Yeah.
For spinn's sake, Zelda, will you get off me? Zelda.
Oh dear.
No.
But it works. It's just so silly that I find I can't help but love it.
Mary.
I mean, I first discovered the show on the sort of tape trading network, so I was getting episodes of this alongside all the other shows, and it never really sort of stuck out to me as an odd one out.
Right.
And I'm glad that over the years, with the Blu-ray releases and such, that it's kind of been rehabilitated a bit.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
You do look a bit pale.
And I think, you know, once again, it's the people that were watching it, I guess as yourself, as a kid, and now coming back to it, you know, and sort of saying, you know, I think with a lot of these things, it's not what you're watching, it's where you are, you know, where that's taking you back. And so I watch all these and all the special, and I know where I was standing.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I know what was going on and things like that. So it's great sort of memory jerkers, it really is. And, you know, I was just amazed it was 40 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And this was a nice touch.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed that one all the way through. I always have.
Very festive and very...
Thank goodness the randomiser produced this for us. Yes.
And no noughts and crosses.
No noughts and crosses this week. Yeah, it's the only episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of names there. Yeah. Yeah, Peter Holmes.
So yours will be on here, won't it?
Yeah. I think it's. There we go. Yeah. So Malcolm and Ross were a father and son.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is another lovely photo as well.
Yeah, I think it was used as a Christmas card as well.
I was going to say, we've got the original photo. There's a couple of different angles, and it is very Christmas card worthy.
It was sent out to crew.
Yeah.
We know it at home somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining me today, Mr. Terry.
Really good.
For a
really
very Terry Christmas to you. And what could be more festive than a bit of Terrahawks on Christmas Day?
Brilliant.
It truly is a Christmas miracle.
Terry Christmas.
Terry Christmas, everybody.
How random that it would be a Christmas episode on Christmas Day.
And how random it should be a Terrahawks episode when Terry Adlam is in the building.
Ah, yes, Terrahawks with Christmas
Terrahawks.
Dale. I mean, it's
all coming together. The stars are aligning.
Yeah.
The Christmas stars.
For the one and only.
Yeah. That's
Anyway, I'd love a bit of Christmas.
Of course.
Just Terrahawks.
Well, you just love Terrahawks full stop, don't you?
I am very fond of Terrahawks.
Yeah.
In fact, in a few days' time from now, the 29th of December, it's the latest issue of SFX.
Oh, yeah?
Where there is an enormous Terrahawks feature.
Is there?
With an interview with some idiot. Yeah.
Nicholas Briggs.
Yeah, it's me. It's me. I'm the idiot.
Yeah, you won't tell Nicholas Briggs I just said he was an
I've
idiot.
just texted him already, unfortunately.
Talking of texts, have you heard back from Craig Morris?
Oh, gosh.
Was that this week or last week?
I think that was
remember.
last week. No.
No,
he
he's
still
ignoring
hasn't
you.
messaged me.
Great.
Bit awkward.
Okay.
Never mind.
Fine.
Is that it?
I think that's it, yes. Randomiser's back next week, of course, with another random episode of a Gerry Anderson series.
Yep.
We'll hear more from our Podsterons.
Yes.
We'll have a very special guest in our studio between Christmas and the New Year, and then into the New Year.
Oh, yes.
Prentice Hancock from Space 1999 is
I
joining us.
know.
What a great way to start 2024.
Yeah, Paul Morrow.
Absolutely.
Amazing. I hope he'll be wearing his uniform, his flares.
I wouldn't count on it, but it'd be great to get some pictures with him holding this, wouldn't it?
Oh, with a comlock, yeah.
We'll try and do that.
Let's hope.
Yeah, all for now, but we'll see you next week.
Fantabby-dozy.
Yeah, hope you have a lovely Christmas.
Yes.
Bye.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
This is Christmas Control. Stand by. Let's go.
Spectrum is green.
Do you want to pull another cracker?
Yes, let's pull another cracker. How many have we got, though? Because we've got to save some for...
It's my last one.
Oh, okay.
It's the last one.
Okay.
Do you want to win or shall I win?
Let's leave it in the lap of the gods.
Well, it won't be in the lap of the gods.
Oh,
I'll
I
win
want to
then.
win.
You want to win?
Yeah.
Okay, here you go.
Hooray! I won.
I told you you'd win.
Green paper, yeah. Yeah.
You got a badge this time? Oh, brains!
How's that?
These are great.
Aren't they?
Except you only got, one.
Really good
yeah.
quality.
Yeah, they're lovely.
Nice. Right, there's my brains badge. I'll be wearing that.
Right.
There's my hat, and there's my bit of paper, and there's my bit of trivia. What colour sash does Virgil Tracy wear with his International Rescue uniform?
Yellow.
That's good, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
It
that's
is
quite
yellow,
good
of
as
course.
trivia.
There he is.
Gosh.
I
Well,
like
maybe
that.
some Space Precinct crackers for next year. Were there any Space Precinct
I don't think
crackers?
there were Space Precinct crackers. I mean, some people call me a Space Precinct cracker.
Right.
And indeed, Charlotte pulled me. No, that may not survive.
Oh, I
this
feel a bit queasy. I
podcast.
think we should go.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I feel like
everyone.
I've overindulged.
Bye. That was an Anderson Entertainment production.